push-ups tonight. So we're going to get into some upper body and a little bit of lower body. But let's start with that warm-up. Head and neck, looking up and down. Keeping those shoulders relaxed. We're here for 10. If you're not counting, do 2 more. And then bringing it back to center and dropping it side to side. Keep going. Good. All right, let's hold it here. Relax both shoulders, and we'll do half circles to the front. Let's stay here for 5 tonight. One more in each direction. All right, big arm circles. Good. Let's go the other way. Keep those arms nice and straight. All right, we're gonna open it front and back. We're gonna alternate which arm crosses in front. And let's open it to the side. A little rotation. Keep going. We're going to do a lot of these tonight. They feel good for me, so I'm going to assume they feel good for you. One more on each side. Okay, shake it out. Elbow circles. Change direction. Good. Let's move on to our spinal roll downs. We'll come back to our wrists later, but spinal roll downs for now. So we're rolling down one vertebrae at a time, letting the arms be heavy. When your hands get to the floor, you're going to take a deep breath in, and then slowly roll up, keeping the knees soft, tucking your tailbone, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. We will do that again. Letting the arms be heavy, getting that nice stretch through the back. This time when we get to the bottom, we walk the hands to one side, press into the floor. Other side. Walk the hands back to center and slowly roll up. Good. Feet come out a little bit wider. We're going to reach up, bend to one side. Good. All right, arm comes up, and then you come up. Other side. Reach out, bend to the side. And now we bend, folding over the leg. Relaxing the head, neck, and shoulders. The leg is as straight as you can get it, but if the knees are bent here, that's quite all right. From here, we're going to open up, So if you're on your left foot, the right hand stays on the floor and the left arm opens up towards the ceiling. Couple of breaths here, and then we'll go to the other side. So first we just hang out, relaxing head, neck, and shoulders, getting that nice stretch through the back of the leg. Remember, the knees can be soft. And then we open it up. So now, if you're on your right foot, we're opening the right hand to the ceiling. Nice deep breath here. And then we're gonna bring it back down to center, but we're just gonna hang out at the bottom. Gonna grab our elbows. We're gonna let gravity pull us down. You're gonna see if you can bring the weight into the balls of your feet. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders, and if you want to sway side to side, you can do that. If you're swaying side to side, bring it to a stop in the center. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, slowly roll up. Good. Big hip circles. Good. 2 more. Then we will go the other way. Switch. Last one. Good. Okay, and excuse me, let's move on to those ankles. Finding your balance, hanging onto something if you need to. So, big circles. That's all we're doing. Making these circles as big as you can. Change direction. Good. Let's go to the other foot. Big circles. Change direction. Good. All right. Let's bring it down to the floor. So we're going to do the shifting bear and the half kneeling diagonal stretch that we've been doing this week. So starting with that shifting bear. So this is some preparatory work. We're getting the core fired up. We're getting our wrists and our hips going. Level 1, we start with the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Before we do anything, we're going to pull those shoulders down away from the ears. As you do that, you should feel your lats. So these muscles just under the shoulder or armpit, you should feel those turn on. I want you to bring your attention to the weight in your hands. So that weight should be under your first knuckles. So under these knuckles, okay? Arms are straight. Level 1, you're going to just lift the knees off the floor. You can do these little mini raises and then put them back down. If that feels okay, you'll lift the knees and you'll hold it. So the knees are just hovering about 1 inch or 2 off the floor. Your spine is nice and straight. Your neck is nice and straight. If this feels okay, you can start to shift those hips back and then coming back to that starting position, hands under the shoulders, shift the weight back, come forward. So choose your level, either doing raises, holding, or shifting. Let's do 2 more of whatever version you're doing, and rest. Good. We're going to stay on the floor. If you need some padding for your knees, if you got bony old knees, now's the time to get that. We're going to come into this half kneeling position where the back toes are tucked. We're squeezing this back glute, so we feel that stretch through the front of the leg and the hip. If the right knee is bent, so if we're on this right knee, that right arm crosses over to the other shoulder. We're going to reach the arm around and touch the back of the foot. If you can get there. You're going to reach back as far as you can. You're going to keep squeezing that glute. And you're going to do 5 of them. So 2 more. Other side. Tuck the back toes. Squeeze the glute. Arm crosses over. And when you're ready, reach around. So you should feel that stretch from the hip across the front of the body. All right. So let's do those 2 exercises again. So you can choose your level for that shifting bear. And then we'll do that diagonal stretch again. So coming into that starting position, choosing your level, either doing the raises, holding, or you're shifting. Let's do 10 reps. So remember, shoulders are pulling down away from the ears. That weight is under your first knuckles. Keep the hips down so that spine is nice and straight. Your neck is an extension of your spine, so don't tuck the chin, don't look up. Couple more. I lost count. All right, that's good. Diagonal stretch. Squeeze the glute. So if the right knee is down, the right arm crosses over to the left shoulder. Five on each side. Keep squeezing that glute. Good. All right. Let's bring it to the feet. We're going to move on. Do a little more prep work for our deadlifts and push-ups. Let's get into that upper body a little bit. We're going to do the figure eights that we've also seen earlier this week. So we reach up. So the feet are slightly wider than hip distance. We're going to reach up and grab one wrist. And we're going to bend to one side, fold forward, come around to the other side and up. So these circles. We're going to do 5 in each direction. You can keep your knees bent if you have to. After 5, when you switch, make sure you change which wrist you're grabbing. Good. One more. Excellent. Let's bring it down to the floor. We're going to do some glute lifts. So knees are bent, feet are flat. Your pelvis is neutral. So if you imagine under your low back, if there was a grape under your low back, you would want to be applying enough pressure to that grape without squishing it. Okay? So there's a little space between your low back and the floor, but you're not arching, you're certainly not arching the back here. So imagine you're almost squishing a grape. So from here, we just drive into the feet. We're going to lift the hips, squeeze the glutes at the top. Think about driving those knees over the toes. So let's do 10 of these glute lifts. Holding it for a beat at the top. Just making sure you're squeezing those glutes. Everything feels nice and solid. You're not like soft serve ice cream going up or down. We're here for 10. Good. All right, we're going to stay on the floor. We're going to come over back into that tabletop position. So knees will stay on the floor for this, hands under the shoulders. We're going to get into some scapular push-ups. So we're working that upper body. We're going to try to isolate just those shoulder blades. So the neck stays neutral, shoulders are pulling down away from the ears. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and then push them apart as much as you can. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, pushing them away. We're here for 10. I want you to think about pushing through those back toes. Notice where the weight is under your hands. Is it shifting around? Can you keep it under those first knuckles? So we're here for 10. Try to keep those arms straight as you bring those shoulder blades together and push them away. Good. Nice. All right. We're going to stay on the floor. Sorry. I just want to get into the wrists a little bit. So fingers are facing forward. Heels of the hands will stay on the floor. And you're just going to bring that weight forward as far as you can, getting that nice stretch through the wrists. When you're here, you can explore, you can make little movements back and forth, maybe little circles. Try to keep those arms nice and straight. If you want to come in and out of it, you can do that. All right, let's switch it. So this time, fingers face you. Again, heels of the hands stay down. Arms are straight. This time now you're leaning back. Again, you can make small little movements. And the last one, flipping the palms so that they're facing the ceiling, fingers are facing you, arms are still straight, and you're still leaning back, but now we're getting that stretch through the front of the wrists, the forearms. Good. All right, let's go back to those glute lifts. We're going to do the glute lifts and the scapular push-ups one more time. 10 reps each. Knees bent, feet flat. Find that neutral pelvis. So we've done it before using the triangle method with the heels of the hands on the hip bones, or if the grape analogy works, you can do that. The 10 glute lifts, driving those knees forward as you come to the top. Squeezing those glutes. Couple more. Good. And then scapular push-ups. So you can keep your knees under your hips here, so you can stay in this tabletop position, or if you want to try doing it from that high plank position, you can. Nothing changes with the upper body, so we're still pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. We still want the weight under those first knuckles. We still want the arms to stay straight, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pushing them away. For 10. This is a deceiving little move. Small but deadly. Woo, good. All right. So, deadlifts tonight. So no weight, we're just looking at body weight, single leg deadlifts. I'll just show you what it looks like, and then we're gonna break it down, and you're gonna choose your level, and we will go from there. So, on one foot, hips go back. Right, so we've all seen this before. The hip bones are like headlights. So as my hips are hinging back, they still point in the same direction. So at no point when you start doing the deadlift, sometimes what happens is people have a tendency as they're going down to turn that hip out. You want to try to avoid that. So let's start just with our level 1. So we did this the other night in our strength and conditioning class that I was sore for 2 days. But anyway, so tonight there's no weight, so that's good. So we can start in this kickstand deadlift position where the foot is just behind that front foot. So the feet would be about hip distance apart. Then you're just stepping the foot slightly behind. The back stays nice and straight. Shoulders back, hinging the hips back. You want to feel that tension through the back of that front leg. Shoulders down away from the ears. Standing up. So this kickstand leg, I mean, you want to apply as little pressure as possible on it. You want that front leg to take as much load as possible. If that feels okay, you can come down. Then maybe release the leg, stand up. So you can come down on 2 legs, release, stand up, down, release, stand up. Or if it feels all right and you want to try doing the full version, you can try that. You can certainly reset between each rep, so if you have to put the foot down between each rep to rebalance, that's okay. If you want to challenge yourself and see if you can do them without rebalancing, that's a challenge all on its own. If you're doing it right, the foot should burn all around the ankle. It will just burn. If all of that feels okay and you want to take it up just another notch, depending on who's watching this later, you can add a lever. So what will happen is you'll start with the leg out in front, back is nice and straight, and then you come down into your deadlift. Back up into your lever, front lever, back lever. When you're coming down, it doesn't matter which version you're doing, you want to avoid rounding the back. So keep pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. We're hinging the hips back here. Keep the back nice and straight. So especially for the single leg deadlift, a lot of people will round the back, but don't do that, okay? Yes, Thomas, good. So like everything, like these bodyweight movements are still full body movements. You'll notice that when you do pull those arms down and you get those lats engaged, I mean, this will help keep everything tight and together, so the body works together. So let's just keep all those little details in mind. All right, so we'll do 30 seconds on one side, rest 15 seconds, 30 seconds on the other side. You can work through whichever level you want. Tonight I just want you to work on that technique and the balance. So that balance is huge. Okay, so you can even think of the balancing portion as part of the exercise or the workout. We're going to come to the floor. For for some push-ups. Now these push-ups are called either teddy bear push-ups or pike push-ups. So we're going to go through the different versions, the different degrees of difficulty. The full version looks like this. I will show you. So from this pike position with my legs straight, my upper body is in a hollow body position. I come down and push up. It's a fun one. So level 1, you're just going to come into that downward dog position. So you're going to start in downward dog. Then you're going to bring the weight into your hands until you feel that weight under the first knuckle. And you're going to push into your hands as much as you can. You'll probably feel your back round a little because you're really pushing into your hands and shoulders. This would be the starting position. If you can just even hold this position, that would be great. If from here you want to try to just bend the elbows, come down a little, and then push back up, you can do that. If you can do the full version, bringing the head all the way to the floor, push back up. Yeah, it's hard. You can also, if doing it with the straight legs is too much, you can try doing it from your knees. So hands are still under the shoulders. You're still pushing in to the arms and the shoulders. And then you can bring the head down there. So your range of motion is a little bit smaller here. This might be more accessible to do it from the knees. Yeah. So it's that hollow body position. So you know when we're in this position on the floor, right? And we have the ribs tucked. We want the ribs tucked in this position as well. Okay, so we shouldn't be out like this. Our ribs should be tucked. You're thinking about connecting the ribs and the hips. It's a lot. It is a lot. Yes, Julie, that's better. Yes, good. Good, Frey Frey. Yes. Not easy. Push into those arms, Thomas. Yeah. So come over your arms even more. So you want your shoulders, yes. And now bring your feet in a little more. Yeah. Now push into your arms and shoulders. Push, push. Yeah. And yeah, so the head is coming out in front of the hands. So like the tip of the triangle. Good. That's it. Rest. We have 5 rounds of this. 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Single leg deadlift right, single leg deadlift left. And then those pike push-ups, choosing your level. Any questions? No? We're good? Okay, 3. We're going to start in 15 seconds. So with the single leg deadlifts, like everything, on this level 1, or sorry, on this round 1, if you want to just start with that kickstand, just getting that motion, you can do that. And then as we go through the rounds, you can progress it. Pay attention to your back, make sure you're not rounding. Rest. Whew. All right, getting ready for that other side. Always interesting to see how the side is going to feel. See if it'll feel different than the other one. Usually does. So just like any deadlift, we're hinging the hips back. All right, getting ready for those push-ups. So from your knees or from your toes, but we're still pushing into the arms and shoulders, keeping the ribs and the hips connected, so ribs tucked, head coming down in front of the hands. It's a big push. All right, back to deadlifts. We're doing 5 rounds of this, by the way. Not sure I said that. So kickstand with the foot release, or the full version, or if you want, you can try the lever. Bringing your attention to the back of that working leg, that supporting leg. That's the muscle that's doing all the work. If we bring our intention there, sometimes it helps to get that thing going and firing. Let's go to the other side. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Almost there. Good. Pike push-ups. Teddy bear push-ups. So another thing I'm going to throw at you, because I haven't thrown enough at you, watch your elbows on this one. So the elbows should be flaring out about 45 degrees. You don't want them going straight out beside you. So just like any push-up, they're coming down about 45 degrees. Keep those ribs tucked. Good. Round 3. Back to deadlifts. Even if you want to try those levers, hanging on to something, they're fun. If you like playing with balance, you like pretending you're a martial artist or a dancer. I'll encourage you to point your toes. Get that full leg engaged. And if you're in your bare feet, you should be paying attention to what's going on in your foot, and you should be able to feel it making all those small little adjustments and trying to balance. So it's just, you know, not a bad thing to pay attention to those little things. You may also be feeling this in your knees. If you have any weaknesses there, stabilizing through the knee on that one side can take its toll. Okay, back to those push-ups. Hands under shoulders, that weight under your first knuckle, from your knees, from your toes, pushing into those arms and shoulders, tucking those ribs. Remember that head is coming out in front of the hands. Good. Yeah, nice. Okay, deadlifts. Here we go. You might notice that your balance is getting better now that you've done a few warm-up rounds. I even noticed with the push-ups, I mean, they're not easy by any means, but they move a little bit more smoothly after round 3. Here we go. Then hinging those hips back, keeping that back straight, pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. Those hip bones are headlights. So if at any time you want to stop and check yourself, make any minor adjustments, you can do that. Okay, push-ups. This is really like an overhead press more than a push-up. It would be like a beginner version of a handstand push-up, like a headstand push-up, coming down to the head and pushing into a handstand. Not that we're ever going to do that here. This is as close as we'll get. Keep those ribs tucked. Don't pop them out. Okay, last round. Whew. Getting warm. Good. Nice. When I keep looking up and away from you, I keep losing my balance. So, I mean, I guess that's another thing we can talk about with the balance, is if you pick a spot on the floor, maybe about 6 feet in front of you, and you just keep your eyes there, this will help keep you in balance. All right, last time here. Almost there. All right, push-ups. All right, last round, best round. We got this. Nice strong push-ups. Tuck those ribs. Halfway. Almost there. Good job. Grab a drink. We'll talk about what's coming up next. Okay. So, 4 rounds, reverse lunges, squats, We have some high plank to low plank, some alternating side plank, and some batwing planks. So there's a lot here. Reverse lunges, we all know we're good. So feet under the hips, you're just stepping one foot back at a time, one knee back at a time. We're alternating. Okay, so we're keeping that back nice and straight. You can have a little lean forward so that you can get that glute going. You want that front heel to stay on the floor though. The knees can go over the toes, that's okay. So we're alternating here. If you're feeling like you have lots of energy and you've got good knees and you want to jump these, you can jump them. I will not be jumping them. You are more than welcome to jump them. We're gonna then come down to the floor. We're gonna go from a high plank to a low plank. So you can do this from your knees or from your toes. I'm gonna demonstrate it from my toes first. We're in this high plank position. Nothing changes with our setup and our hands. Shoulders away from the ears, weight under those first knuckles. Then we come down to low plank, back to high plank. You're gonna try to alternate which hand goes down first. If that's too much for you and you want to do it from your knees, you can do it from your knees. Nothing changes. You just made your lever smaller. Okay, are we okay with that? Because if we're okay with that, I'm adding a push-up. So it'll be a high plank, so it'll be push-up, low plank. Push-up, low plank. So if you don't have the push-up, then you just do the high plank to low plank. But Julie, you have the push-up, so you get to do push-up to low plank. Okay? And you're gonna alternate which hand goes up and down first. All right? Then we're back up on our feet. And it's just squats. Bodyweight squats. Okay? We're all good here. So knees are out over the toes. We don't want the knees coming in. We're going to keep the chest up. We're going to try to keep the weight on the heels as we squat. Good? Oh my gosh. Back down to the floor. We're almost there. Back down to the floor. And we're going to do an alternating side plank. So level one, just from high plank, you're going to go to side plank, back to high plank, side plank. So this is your level one. You can do it from your knees if you like. You might want to come to your feet for that side one. Or you can do it like that sexy bear way. So where we just thread that foot underneath. So you can choose what level you want to do here. But then after that, no, you know what? I'm going to change it. That's lots. We're going to do 5 rounds of those things because I'm throwing a lot at you. So we'll save this last one for next week. So it'll be it's in the vault. So let's review that. Reverse lunge, right? High plank, low plank with the push up. Squats, right? And then alternating side plank. Thank you, Julie. Alternating side plank. I almost went to the thing that I cut out. All right. Are we good? Okay, cool. Starting in 15. 5 rounds of this. You can move as fast or slow as you like. All of these moves should be fairly familiar to you. So nothing you need to pay too much attention to. Maybe those side planks. Maybe those push up to low planks. Good. Keep going. Okay. Push up to low plank, or just high plank to low plank, from your feet or from your toes or from your knees. So the hips will shift as you're doing this, but see if you can control how much shifting they do. So the more you push into your feet, the less wiggling should happen. All right, squats. Up and down, up and down. So if these feel good and you want to boogie on these, you can. You can even make these into a jump squat if you're feeling masochistic. Good. Keep it going. All right, alternating side plank. From your knees or your feet, transitioning through the high plank or just going back and forth. You really want to push into that arm, push into the shoulder, lift that hip. Going. All right, reverse lunges. So if you're counting your reps, you're going to see if you can keep the pace throughout the entire workout. At least not go below that pace. If you want, you could make this a combination of like a jump and just regular. Maybe a couple jumps, then a few non-jumping, if you want. All right, push-ups. On round 3 of these, I'm going to show you another option. So just stay tuned. Not that you're going anywhere. I have your full attention, I'm sure. Almost there. All right, squats. Same thing if you want to do a few jumps and a few non-jumping squats. Mix it up. Good. Almost there. Good. plank. So remember, your first option is from high plank, and then just rolling over to that side plank, back to high plank, other side. Or you can step it through. Lunges, round 3. Whew. All right, here we go. Good. Get up. Yes. Good. All right. Push-ups. All right, so this time, if that push-up feels okay, then you want to maybe experiment with this type of push-up. So from this high plank position, the hands are out a little bit in front, I guess from the low plank, and then from the low plank, you push up from there. So the hands don't move, the elbows are coming down and up. You're keeping that nice plank position through your body, so you're not letting the hips dip, right? Not easy. All right, squats. So we're halfway. Here we go. I think I'm getting about 20 squats, if that means anything to you. Good. Not 20. Side plank. So make sure you're really pushing into the arm here. Shoulders down away from the ear. At the top, if you even want to pull that other elbow back to just really open the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good. All right. Lunges, round 4. Let's do it. Good. Yes. So however far you put your foot back will be different for everyone. It'll depend on your flexibility and mobility. So just be aware of that. Push-ups, or high plank to low plank, or if you want to try those low plank push-ups. For those low plank push-ups, you can experiment with the position of your feet. Is it better if your feet are close, maybe wide, Does it even make a difference? It's a big push up from that low plank. All right, squats. Here we go. 20. If you have to go over the 30, you go over the 30. If you get them done before 30, then you get to rest. And I'll be super impressed if you get them done before 30 seconds. Good. Oh, Julie, geez Louise. She's gonna get them done. Holy mac. Ah, good job. All right, plank. Here we go. Keep it up. All right, last round, best round. 20 lunges, same thing. So 10 on each side. However long it takes. Nice reps though. Good. We're about halfway. Nice. Yeah. Keep it up. Okay. There it is. Good, Thomas. Yeah. Nice. Push-ups. Here we go. Choose your level. We can do a combination. All right, squats. Twenty. Keep that chest up. These should feel a little bit easier. Everyone's nice and warm. Maybe we're getting a little bit lower than we were in our first round. Yeah, good. Good job. All right, last 30 seconds. Side plank. Good job, guys. It's fun. Here we go. Keep going. Almost there. There. right. Let's come onto our back. We're going to start with the figure 4 stretch tonight. So crossing your right ankle over your left knee. Just taking a second to let that knee flare out. Then when you're ready, lifting the foot off the floor, reaching through the window, grabbing the leg and gently pulling it in towards you. Slowing down your breath. Paying particular attention to that exhale. All right, bring that foot to the floor. Cross the leg over. So if your right leg is crossed on top, you're going to drop your knees to the left. Keeping those shoulders as close to the floor as you can. The arms are extended out beside you. All right, bringing the knees back up through center. We're going to go to the other side, starting with that figure 4 stretch. Letting the knee flare out. And pulling it in towards you. Flex your feet here. So turn the feet on. Don't let them go to sleep. So like with any stretch, you're welcome to make any minor adjustments, move around, find the sweet spot that feels good for you. All right, release that foot, cross the leg over. Now you're dropping your knees to the other side. Arms are extended out beside you. Shoulders are as close to the floor as possible. All right, knees back up to center. Let's just roll over onto one side. Elbow under the shoulder, knees are bent. You're just going to reach for that top foot. Keep the knees together. Squeeze the glutes. You're going to think about pushing those hips forward so you're getting that nice stretch through the front of the leg, the front of that top leg. Let's go to the other side. Good, knees are together, pushing those hips forward. Good, come up to seated. We're almost there. So you're going to bring your hands behind you, fingers pointing away from you. I want you to open that chest, so push into those arms, so you can think about squeezing the shoulder blades together. This might be a good enough stretch for you, so we're looking for that stretch through the arm into the shoulder. You may want to play with the distance of your hands. The closer your hands are together, the harder this is going to be. So that chest is open. You can scoot your bum away from your hands if you need more of a stretch. So just taking it to the level or the degree that feels good for you and hang out there. You can also extend the legs. One more deep breath. And then if your bum was back, scoot it back towards your hands and then release. And then we'll just finish with a shoulder stretch in front, so pressing that arm in front. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And other side.